Hey there everyone, and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. On today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the latest news from Iconic Arcade. Are these machines still coming out? And if so, when can people expect to get their hands on them? It's all coming up right after this. Alright everyone, as always, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out today's video. If this happens to be your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscription button, click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video, give this one a thumbs up, and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. So last night, I went on the Cornercade show along with community members B. Kirby and Paul Mindeman to talk about the latest upcoming news from Iconic Arcade. And that's where a lot of what I'm going to share with you today comes from. So if you missed that live show last night, I will have a link in the description to go ahead and check it out. So it was a couple of days ago, Danny reached out to me along with Paul and a few other people to chat about doing a show together. And in doing so, we wound up coming across some information regarding Iconic Arcade and some of the things that they have going on, some of the most recent news from them. Some of this coming directly from Iconic, some of it coming from Spreetail and some of their partners that are actually going to be releasing this online through sites like VMI and other retailers and things like that. So to start off, let's take a look at this. And this is an email that went out to many of the people who purchased one of the Iconic Arcades. Certainly, if you ordered the Street Fighter II variant, you would have gotten this email. But I think even those who ordered the Alpha variant may have seen this as well. And it says, "Hello, thank you for pre-ordering the Street Fighter II The World Warrior arcade machine from Iconic Arcade. We appreciate your patience during the delay and are still on track for a Q4 release. We'd love your input on the final side art. Please reply to this email with your preferred design. Stay tuned for product updates coming soon." And you can see here that they've got 6 different designs for the Street Fighter II World Warriors cab. Now, in my opinion, 6 is a little much. I think they could have probably just cut this down to 3 designs for people, because I think, and I said this on the show last night, you put out this many designs, you give people this many choices, and unless there's like a really clear runaway winner, you've got a chance here that you're going to disappoint quite a number of people if their design isn't the one picked. But getting back to this email, again, this is something that went out yesterday, so I think a lot of people were excited to finally hear something from Iconic Arcade, but there was also maybe a little bit of confusion of why at this late stage are we seeing this? Didn't we already see this? Shouldn't the design have already been picked? So on and so forth. And of course, these are all legitimate concerns. I mean, we saw this thing back at the beginning of the year, and it was originally announced, of course, to come out in June. Now, as June got closer, they wound up pushing this back to October. So a lot of people are wondering what is really going on here. And yes, while it's nice to finally get some news from them, I don't necessarily think this is the news people were expecting or hoping. They were hoping that the design was already decided, that production was going on, and that we'd be getting these things soon, especially if they plan on having this in people's hands by October. So what's going on here? Well, that's where some of the other news that dropped last night comes in. And now, just so people understand, the next 2 things, from my understanding, actually did come from people over at Spreetail. This is direct from the retailers who are in constant contact with Iconic on what is going on here. This is not speculation. This is direct from them. And one of the things that they said is the order is going forward, production is spinning up, and we're going to have the product in this year. The biggest hurdles that held the whole thing up were tariffs. So, of course, we've all heard the dreaded T word this year. This has caused a lot of companies, not just in the home arcade scene, to delay products, to rethink things, especially if you've got products being made overseas, and of course, especially if they're being made in a country like China, where at one point the tariff was hitting 145% before leveling out to a more manageable 30%. But because of the uncertainty of things, because of not knowing where things were going to be in the future, especially when it got closer to when Iconic was actually planning on releasing these things, that's when we started to get into things like them taking the links off of their site to go to the VMI store for purchasing, the purchasing coming down off of VMI and then going back up for a little while, so on and so forth. Now, it would have been nice to get a little more communication from them for people to really understand what was going on and why they were doing some of the things that they were doing. But the understanding, the things that I have now heard, was that the tariff situation was so uncertain that they were afraid that even at their price point of $6.99, they were going to lose a ton of money on these things because of the potential of where tariffs would wind up being. And they wanted to make sure that they kind of capped their orders and made sure that they could manage these and move forward. Now, is there a possibility that that means the price on these could increase at some point? Yes, that is a definite possibility and something to watch out for. However, my understanding is that Iconic is going to honor the price that they put out there for anybody who has pre-ordered this. So if you pre-ordered this at the $6.99 price, you are still getting it at that price. There will be no price increase because of tariffs on this. But they are saying that that is the point of the delay here. So does this mean that people can actually expect to get these in their hands in October after the initial delay from June? Well, hold on a minute, because I have the answer to that one too. So here we go. And again, this is coming directly from a representative from Spreetail, where these machines are actually going to be coming in and distributed from. And it says end of October will be the shipping date from China. So I'm expecting them in my warehouses mid-December. So yes, it does look like this means another delay. Now, again, it can depend on your point of view here. They did say shipping in October, but they didn't say shipping from where. So technically, they are still on point for their original delay because these are shipping from China in October. Now, I'm sure that is not how most people read their original announcement. Most people thought that meant they would be in their hands at some point in October, but it looks like they're going to be shipping out from the manufacturing in October, should be here sometime in December, and if all goes well, that means that people will actually have these in their hands before the end of the year. Now, is there a possibility that this could slip into the very early, the very beginnings of 2026? Of course. At this stage, nothing is certain yet. This is just where they expect things to be right now. But as of right now, the hopeful plan is that these will be in people's hands before the end of the year. So still targeting a 2025 release date. So there you have it, the latest news from Iconic Arcade. This email has gone out allowing people to make the final decision, or help Iconic make the final decision on the side art for the Street Fighter II version of the cab. Now, production is actually underway for these. Now, the alpha machine is, of course, set to go in terms of artwork and everything like that. So they're probably churning up production for those as we speak. With the Street Fighter II cab, they can get a lot of the production done even without the final side art being finalized yet. For a lot of people who think that this is going to be part of the delay, I don't think so. I think this is something that can easily be done last minute. They can make a lot of these cabs, figure out the side art, slap that on kind of last minute, and still get these done. So again, according to the retailer, production is already ramping up, so they are actually being made. And then, of course, we see that their plan is to have these shipped out at the end of October, to be in people's hands before the end of the year. So guys, let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Did you get the email, and did you pick one of the sidebar? If so, let me know in the comments below which one you picked. And of course, give me your thoughts altogether on what's going on with Iconic Arcade. So before I end this video, just want to give a few final thoughts and a few final notes here from our show last night and from some of the things that I've heard behind the scenes. If you missed out on the pre-order for this, there's a good possibility that you're still going to be able to get one at some point, as these are supposed to be not just online from sites like VMI, but also in retail sites like Walmart, Target, and even Amazon. So there's a good possibility you might even see this show up in one of your local Walmart stores. Now, beyond that, there is a lot of hope that these machines actually do well, because the retailers like Spreetail are in talks with Iconic to purchase more machines from them in the future. Now, I will tell you that some of the names that I have heard bandied about include cabs based on Double Dragon, which is something that we saw a prototype of earlier this year, and even possibly Tekken. So if you're a fighting game fan who has been wanting to see somebody put Tekken out in a home arcade machine, stay tuned, because that's something that might wind up happening sometime next year if all goes well with these Street Fighter cabs. And then finally, one last thought here. While it's great to see some movement here, while it's great to see this email come out from them and feel like things are actually finally moving forward, it would still be nice to see more info on this product besides what we've already seen. I know a lot of people have been curious about the quality of the buttons and the joysticks, things like that. Any other changes they've made to the cab since their initial showing. What's the UI going to look like? What's the play experience really going to be like? Online support, things like that. So I'm trying to remain hopeful that in the next few weeks, the next coming months, leading up to these finally shipping in October, that we will see more on that. But again, stay tuned, because hopefully as more information comes out, I'll be able to share it with you guys. But there you go. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I hope you guys got something out of it. If you did, please go ahead, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a like, leave me those comments below. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that as well. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you could consider getting a membership. That's all for this video. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care and happy gaming.